Okay, so we are recording the session and let's come to our book. All of you can see the book. See my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So the last class we had started to learn something about relative pronouns. It's been a long break from our last class. So in our last class we learned something about infinitives and gerunds. Gerund was something which is like this. Baking takes a lot of time. Here baking was a noun, but baking actually is a verb, but we learned how to use verbs as nouns, and we understood that they are known as gerunds. So we also learned about infinitives. That was the last class. And after that we had learned about something called that and which. The difference between that and which, we understood that that is an essential clause. When you are adding some essential information, some important information, that is when you use that. If your information is not that important, you can use something called which. Now these words, that, which, they are part of something called relative pronouns. Now what is pronouns? Pronoun is nothing but something that refers to a noun. That's why we call it pronouns. Okay. Now relative, something that makes some relationship between something. If you have two things, something that joins them or relates them, that will be relative. So the name itself is telling us what this thing would be all about. So let's see. Let's look at few examples. I'll zoom this. Okay. Look at this example. He likes the girl. That's one sentence. And another sentence. The girl comes from Alaska. Now, if you want to join this sentence, you can write something like this. He likes the girl who comes from Alaska. All that you have done here is you have changed this reference, the girl, into this word, who. And that's how this sentence joined together. So the benefit of this relative pronoun is that you are not repeating certain words, possibly the subject or the object. You're not repeating that thing again and again. The girl is not being repeated again and again. Here in this sentence, the girl, the word the girl is repeated twice. So IELTS will cut your marks when you do this. So you should not, do repeat words in IELTS quite often. If you keep doing that, keep repeating words, you will lose marks. So if you come across such a situation, please use a relative pronoun here. Here we are talking about a person. We are talking about a human being. That is a girl, the girl. That's why we use the relative pronoun who. Similarly, you can also use the word that. Now, when I use the word that, I'm saying that this information is also important. Comes from Alaska. This information is also important, along with the information that he likes the girl. This importance of that and which we had learned this in the previous class. So if you have, if you're not able to follow up, please go ahead and watch that previous class and you should be able to follow up with what is the importance of that. It's nothing, it's very simple. That is a essential clause, is used to join essential clauses, something that is important. So when we use that here, this part of the sentence becomes important as well. Okay. Now look at another sentence. I bought the car. The car needs repair. I bought the car that needs repair. all you're doing is you're removing this the car and replacing it with that. That's all. Instead of that, you can also use the word which. The difference between 1 second. Okay. So, yeah, coming back. The difference between this sentence, the sentence that I have highlighted right now, I bought the car that needs repairs, sorry. And this sentence, I bought the car which needs repairs. There is a very small difference here. Can anyone here tell me the difference is created by these two words? I've taught you this just now. Can anyone tell me what is different here in this sentence and what is different here in this sentence? Anyone? When do we use that? When we are supposed to give some important information, essential information. So when you're using the word that needs repairs, I'm not just saying that I bought a car. I'm also saying that I bought a very, um unproductive car. My decision might not have been that great. And I am emphasizing that thought or that emotion by using this phrase, that is, it needs repairs. But by using this word that, I'm saying that both this information, they are important, both of them are related to each other, and you should look at the complete sentence, and both parts should be given equal importance. That's what this sentence is emotionally, is the emotion of the sentence is what I just said right now, that both these parts of the sentence are equally important. Not just that he bought the car, or not just that he needs it needs some repairs. Both are important. You should look at both of them. So somewhere you might be getting a feeling, oh, this guy did not make a good decision for himself. He did not buy a good car. Possibly that's the message that he's trying to imply here. When you look at this sentence, here the essential information is I bought the car. That is the essential information. That is the main kadha, the main story, that he bought the car. Now the car might need some repairs. That's why he used which needs repairs. We can also understand, if you go deeper into this, you can also understand the degree of repair that is required. Which car needs more repair, the first sentence or the second sentence car? Can anyone answer which car would need more repair?
First sentence.
Repeat once again.
First sentence.
First sentence. Yes. The first sentence would need the first sentence car, this car. This one. This means that the car is, very it's not in a very good condition. That's why we are using this essential clause, that please understand, not just that we bought the car, but it also needs a lot of repair. So I hope this was clear, that and which. We had learned this in the last class. Okay, so now let's move on. Okay, few more sentences here. I found the money. The money was lost. If you want to join these two sentences, you can simply say it as I found the money that was lost. Or you can also use it like this, which was lost. When you are using that, you are saying that both the information, finding the money and its past, its history, that it was lost, both are important. Here in the second sentence, where you have used the word which, here I found the money is the main emotion. The rest of the information is just extra information. So similar sentences we have, few more. I found the money, Bree lost the money. I found the money that Bree lost. Bree is a name of a person. You can also write it as I found the money which Bree lost. Next, I found the money, they spoke about the money. I found the money that they spoke about. Now, when you write like this is this sentence, this one, the one that I've highlighted right now. This sentence is wrong. In formal English, you will never write this sentence. Does anyone here know why? I have discussed this in class earlier. Anyone knows why? This is the word which is creating all the problem. Franklin. Franklin, you're there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. What is this word? Now I'll start picking everyone. Niji.
Yes, sir.
What is this word?
About.
What is this word?
About.
Is it a noun? Is it a verb? Is it an adjective?
Okay, okay.
About,
About.
yes. Adendan about. എന്താണ് മോനെ? Okay. Rashid.
Yes, sir.
About എന്താണ് മോനെ?
Sir.
Setu. Can all of you see this? Setu just put a message. Can all of you see this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What is the word? About എന്താണ്?
Preposition.
Preposition. Do you ever end sentences with a preposition in formal English?
No.
No.
No. I mentioned this in class, right? പക്ഷെ വേർഡ് എന്താണെന്ന് അറിയത്തില്ലെങ്കിൽ എങ്ങനെയാ റൂൾ അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്യില്ലേ? അതാണ് പ്രശ്നം. If we do not know if this word is a preposition or a verb or this, grammar is not clear. So this sentence, my point was that this sentence is wrong because the sentence is ending with a preposition. And you never end sentences with prepositions. That will be wrong. That's why I would rather write this sentence. I found the money about which they spoke. I would like all of you to write this sentence. I found the money. They spoke about the money. This one. I found the money. Full stop. They spoke about the money. This one. And I would like you to write this sentence as well next to it. I found the money about which they spoke. Another example, I found the money, the color of the money is green. I found the money, the color of which is green. Here you can also write it as, I found the money whose color is green. You can also use another relative pronoun that is called whose, W-H-O-S-E. Whose color is green. Like that also you can write. Okay. So, I think we know all of this. Chal. I would like all of you to write this sentence. In these sentences, this sentence, is it correct? Setu Lakshmi, is this sentence correct? Put a message. All of you read it. What did Setu say? Guys, at least you can respond, right? Yes, no.
No.
Thank you. What about others?
No.
The second sentence is wrong because it ends with a preposition. What is the preposition here? Anyone would like to answer?
For.
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 The word is for. For is the preposition, which is wrong. So we will not use the sentence as per the rule. This is wrong. In formal English, you are not supposed to write like this. The correct way to write the sentence will be, I like the man for whom I work. You have a similar sentence group here. These are the books about which she spoke. This will be the correct way to write something like this. If you end the sentence with about, again, that is a preposition which you are not supposed to do, which will be wrong. So moving on. So let's get on to an exercise. I would have taught you many more things, but I don't see much of a response from people. So I think you guys are not interested. And if you're not interested, there's no point in teaching, because then you might take things you might understand it wrong. So that's why I'm just jumping over to the exercise. And there are a lot of things that could have been taught, but I don't see that kind of a participation here from the rest of you. So I'm moving on. Okay. I found the money belonged to Jack. Can somebody answer? Or should I answer and move on? Okay, I'll answer.
I found the money that belonged to Jack.
I found the money that belonged to Jack. Any other way to say this? Ruben, please don't answer again.
Okay.
I found the money which belongs to Jack.
Which belongs or belonged. Which one will
Belong
you
to
take?
Jack.
Which belonged to Jack. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Rashid. Next one. She has a good memory. Her memory always serves her well. Anyone else other than Rashid and Ruben?
She have a good memory, which always
She have
serves
ano mone.
her.
She has ano.
She has,
She has a good memory.
which always serve her well.
Serves her well. Do not change the tense. Okay. Tense
Okay.
അങ്ങനെ തന്നെ ഇരിക്കുക. Okay.
Okay.
Has ആണെങ്കിൽ has, serves ആണെങ്കിൽ serves. All
Okay,
you
sir.
need to do is her memory ne മാറ്റി which ആക്കി അത്രേ ഉള്ളൂ.
Okay.
Okay. Good. Next. This is the woman. I told you about the woman. Tricky one. This is the woman
This is the woman
About?
about which
which woman കൂടെ ഇടാൻ പറ്റുമോ? Which
Whom
you
can
can
we
use
use?
the word which with things. So what do you use for people?
Whom?
Whom. This is a woman about whom I told you.
About. I told you.
Okay. What you have changed? This, the woman. You have changed this to whom. And you've just taken this whole thing and placed it here. This is the woman about whom I told you. That's all we have done here. Okay. I have a document. The document proves my innocence.
I have document that proves my innocence.
That proves my innocence. You can use that. You can use which. Both the words are okay. They want to visit the country. Marsha comes from the country.
They want to visit the country where she comes from. Where Masha comes from.
Comes from.
No.
Can I
no,
end it?
No, 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 no.
No, right? They want to visit the country from
Which Marsha comes.
which Marsha comes. Okay? They want to visit the country from which Marsha comes. Full stop. Okay. Now you're supposed to use these three relative pronouns. That is who, whom, and whose. Okay. Wherever you're going to use whom, be careful. Okay. Okay. This is the doctor. The doctor saved my life. What will you use?
This is the daughter who saved my life.
This is the doctor who saved my life. Okay. Do you know the musician? I met the musician in Hawaii. Use this word. Do you know the musician?
Do you the musician who I met in
I
Hawaii?
met the musician in Hawaii.
Who or whom?
Whom?
Whom I met in Hawaii.
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 Okay. She likes the gentleman. I was telling her about the gentleman. As soon as you see this word, put it after this. She likes the gentleman about. The gentleman will become
Who?
whom?
Whom?
Okay. She likes the
Okay.
gentleman about whom I was telling her.
Her.
She likes the gentleman about. The gentleman will change to whom
Whom?
I was telling
Was
her.
telling about.
ठीक है പിന്നെ about it അല്ലേ അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് don't do that. Okay. Okay. She likes the gentleman about whom I was telling her. Okay. I visited the sisters. The sisters' father had recently died. I visited the sisters
His father had recently died.
whose father
Whose father?
had recently died. Okay. Gerard noticed the stranger. All the neighbors were staring at the stranger. Gerard noticed the stranger. Hmm. What is at? What is this word at?
Preposition.
Preposition. Okay. So what is the trick? We will use this word at and put it here after stranger. Put the word at after the word stranger here. Gerard noticed the stranger at. What will the stranger become?
Whom?
At whom? Continue the sentence.
All the neighbors were staring.
Yes. Did you understand the trick?
Yes.
What are we doing here? We are looking for the preposition. Premlata Katie. I don't know. Okay, fine. So the trick here is to join these sentences. What do we look at? We looked at the preposition and we place the preposition just after this here. And then we change this. The stranger, we change that to whom. And then we added this. All the neighbors were staring. So the sentence became Gerard noticed the stranger at whom all the neighbors were staring. Gerard noticed the stranger at whom all the neighbors were staring. You never end a sentence with a preposition. Please remember that rule and do not fall for that mistake in writing. In speaking, that is okay. You can end sentences with prepositions in speaking, but not in writing. Okay. So learn this technique. Okay. Follow the same directions. Use which, this word which, as the relative pronoun. Pablo threw away the picture. The boys had found the picture. Join it. Pablo threw away the picture which the boys had found. Try the next one. I live in the house. My grandfather was born in the house.
I live in the house which my born in the house.
Do you think you should use this word somewhere?
After house.
Yes. So repeat the sentence now, correct? Say it correctly now. I live in the house
In which my grandfather was born.
in which my grandfather was born. So whenever you see such prepositions, you go back to that trick, right? We are using that same trick, right? We change the house into which. And we just took that preposition that is in and we placed it here after house. So I live in the house in which my grandfather was born. He bought a suit. The suit is navy blue. Simple. He bought a suit which is navy blue. Anna has a new hat. I like the new hat very much. How will you call new hat? Can I call it which?
Yes.
Anna has a new hat which I like
Very much.
very much. Okay. He wanted to paint the bench. A man was sitting on the bench. Prepositional phrase is here, on the bench. So be careful. What will you do?
He wanted to paint the bench on which a man was sitting.
Very good. Now you have learned it. He wanted to paint the bench on which a man was sitting. Okay. So great. Okay. Complete each sentence with an appropriate phrase. This is the lady about whom? What will you say? Can I
was
say I
talking.
spoke? Yeah, I was talking, or I spoke, or I mentioned. Anything like that we can use. Okay. We visited a country that a very rich. Give me a word for very rich.
Cultural heritage.
Expensive.
Can a country be expensive? Can we say that a country is expensive? No.
No.
We can say that living cost is high or living expense is high, right?
Yes.
How will you say that a country was rich or is rich? Can I use another word called developed, which will indicate that it is rich?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. This is called flexibility of vocabulary. When I'm asking you to think about rich, don't just think of synonyms of rich. There are many other ways that you can show something to be rich. If something is developed, it can be rich, right?
Yes.
So be flexible with vocabulary. We visited a country that was developed, that was quite developed, right? Okay, I don't like people whom now this will take a lot of time because none of you will answer. So I would like all of you to take a photograph here of this exercise, and I would like all of you to complete these phrases and send me a photo of what you have written. Okay, don't try question number 6 and question number 8. I don't want you to learn the inappropriate way of writing. So don't try question 6 or question 8. Okay, try and finish these sentences using your own phrases. Don't make the sentence too long. Keep it simple and clear. Okay, so you can take a photograph. All of you can take a photograph, screenshot, print screen, screenshot. Done. I'll move the screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next exercise. Rewrite each sentence changing the relative clause to its elliptical form. Now this is something that I wanted to teach you where I skipped because none of you were talking about were responding. So chalo, we'll learn this as an exercise here. Look at this sentence. She's the girl whom I met there. Right? Now here in this sentence, the word whom is being used. Okay. Now look at this sentence here. She's the girl I met there. Is this sentence wrong? Have you seen such sentences? I'm sure most of you would have. This is not wrong. One second. Yes, so I'm back. Yeah, this sentence is not wrong. Here, what has happened is this word whom has been just omitted out of the sentence. Why? Because this is something called as an elliptical, curve or an elliptical pronoun. In elliptical pronouns, all you need to learn is that we generally omit this pronoun here, this relative pronoun that we learned about, which, whom, that, all these words. Sometimes we can omit this. This kind of a usage is called the elliptical form of relative pronouns. Do not get confused by this big word elliptical, the scientific word elliptical. All that it says that is sometimes you will find sentences where you do not possibly need to use a pronoun. Something like this word whom here. You can skip that word. Very often you will see this happening with the word that. Sometimes you will skip the word that, which. Okay, so let's look at this example here and learn from the example. He was in the city that I visited last year. Now try saying the sentence without the word that.
The
Hello.
city I visited last year.
He was in the city I visited last year. Okay, this is now the elliptical form of the sentence. That is also correct. There is nothing wrong in writing like this. Okay, it is more or less understood. Try the next one. Try the third one.
Ron sold the house he was born in.
Ron sold the house he was born in. Again, this sentence, is it correct? This sentence,
Yes.
check other things also. The previous rule that we learnt.
No. In
No, it's ending
Preposition
with
comes in the last.
preposition.
yes.
Yeah.
What is the error here? This word. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Let's not use this preposition to close the sentence. Rather, we will take this born in and place it somewhere else. Okay, so let's try this. Ron sold the house. Can I use that? No. Ron sold the house in which
He was
he
born.
was born. That's how you will change it. Okay. Ron sold the house in which he was born. You cannot use it with the word that. You'll have to change it to which. Okay, so moving on. My father lost the checkbook that he kept his credit card in.
My father lost the checkbook in which he kept his
Uh,
credit.
in which he kept his credit card. Yes, correct. Rashid, correct. Okay, but right
Okay.
now, give me the elliptical form. Give me the elliptical form.
My
My
father
father
lost the checkbook. He kept his credit card.
He kept his credit card. Now, in the elliptical form, the sentence will be wrong. Okay, because in is at the end of the sentence, which we will not use. We will not ever write like this. Okay. Chalo, I hope that was clear. Chalo. Fifth, that is a question. Leave that. Sixth, that's a pretty girl. For whom I wrote this poem. How can we remove the elliptical here? It's simple. That's a pretty girl for.
I wrote this poem.
Can I use for here? Where will I take this for? I have to take this and place it here. That's a pretty girl I wrote the poem for. But that will be wrong, right? Will that be correct?
No.
No.
That will be informal way of writing. Not wrong, but informal. We will never use informal way of writing. Okay. So for us, we will write this. In our essays, we will possibly write like this. So generally elliptical forms might, put the preposition in the end. Okay. So don't go that deep into these things. Just know how to frame these sentences and be familiar with them. Chalo, next one. I don't know the people whom he gave the flowers to. Again, ends with a preposition here, right? Can I take this whom away?
Yes.
I don't know the people he gave the flowers to. Okay, you can say like this in your speaking test, but not in your writing. Okay, now let's correct this for our writing. I don't know the people
To which?
to which are. To whom?
To who?
Just take this to and place it here. I don't know the people to whom he gave the flowers. Okay. That is how we will write in our essay. Okay. Number 8. The hat from which the magician pulled a white rabbit was empty. This is the clause. Sorry, not the clause, the relative pronoun here. So we have to remove this. This thing is what? Think about this. Yeah, where will you place this? This thing will go somewhere in the end, right?
Yes.
Somewhere it will not be here. So remove both of them. The hat the magician pulled a white rabbit from was empty. This is a difficult one. I don't expect guys to answer here, but listen to this. The hat, this thing, the from which will be removed from here. Okay, so you'll continue like this. The hat the magician pulled a white rabbit from was empty. Okay. Next one. She forgot the tickets that she had placed next to her briefcase. This is simple. She forgot the tickets. Just remove this word.
Yeah, she had placed next to her.
She forgot the tickets she had placed next to the briefcase. All you had to do is remove this word that. They live in a tiny village which we finally located on a map. They live in a tiny village.
We finally located on a map.
We finally located on a map. Okay. In this case, this comma will also go. This which will also go. Comma in which these two things will go. They live in a tiny village. We finally located on a map. Great. So what did we learn? We learned about relative pronouns. That, who, which, whose. And we also learned about elliptical. What is elliptical? Where you don't use a pronoun as such. Right? We were removing it, right? Yes. That form is called elliptical. Where that pronoun usage is understood. You do not have to mention it. Where do you use elliptical pronouns? When they are very close to each other. When both the sentences that you're trying to join, they are quite close to each other. Chalo. This was about relative pronouns. Let's move on to the next exercise. That is, or the next chapter. Reflexive pronouns. Okay. Now, what is reflexive pronouns? Again, do not get confused with such a big name. Look at these words. myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, themselves. These are all reflexive pronouns because what are they doing? They're doing this. They reflect back to the subject. When you say myself, I bought this for myself. Aren't you reflecting back to yourself? That is I. When I say the sentence, I bought a car for myself. I bought a scooter for myself. All of you can relate to that, right? So this word myself is referring back to the word I. Okay, that is what it is saying. Reflect back to the subject, I, subject. So these are called reflexive pronouns. So I hurt myself again. What have we used? A reflexive pronoun. You can do it yourself. He enjoyed himself. She helped herself to some candy. What do you mean by this? She helped herself to some candy. What do you mean by this?
She got herself some candy.
Slowly, Ruben, slowly.
She got some candy for herself.
Very good. She got some candy for herself. Okay, that's what it means. She helped herself to some candy. That's a very nice way of saying that. Okay, okay. So you, I believe all of you would have. Okay, now all these. Okay, all of them. These, the ones that I've highlighted right now. Are they singular or are they plural? Look at them.
Singular.
Singular. Okay. Now let's look at the plural forms. Now you can see the plural forms below that. We, you, they, ourselves. We becomes ourselves. You become yourselves. They becomes themselves. So look at the sentence. We found ourselves in a strange city. The sentence. Now I am talking about these guys. They are all plurals. Okay. You must clean yourselves up before dinner. Because of this word yourselves, we understood here you is not one person but many people. Right? They accidentally burned themselves. I'm sure most of you know how to use these reflexive pronouns. Okay. Let's do this exercise. Rewrite each sentence appropriately with the subject, personal pronouns given. Change the appropriate reflexive pronoun. Okay. I found myself in a difficult situation. Okay. Now you have to use the word you in the singular form. So you will change it like you found. Which word will you say? Will you use here?
Yourself.
Yourself in a difficult situation. Change it to he. He found.
himself,
She found.
herself,
We found
our
Themselves.
them,
ourselves. They found.
themselves,
Amy found
myself,
herself.
herself. Amy found herself.
Herself.
yes,
Okay. Okay. I think this is simple. The boys found. The boys. This sentence. Do the last one. The boys
them,
enjoyed
Themselves.
themselves,
themselves at the party. If you are getting confused, guys, please note this down. At least note these two down. What is a personal pronoun and what is a reflexive pronoun? All you need to do is when you see you in plural, you have to use yourselves. When you use you in singular, you will use yourself. He, she, himself, herself. If you get a name, it is similar to he or she. Okay. So if you're not able to answer, please note these things, these two tables, these two columns, or take a picture and then try to answer using the picture as a reference. Chalo, I'm moving the screen. I'm going back to the exercise. So the boys enjoyed once more
Themselves at happy.
themselves at the party. Okay. He is going to be very proud of himself. Try this. Abdul and Ricky. Instead of he, we are going to put Abdul and Ricky. Okay. Change the rest of the sentence. What is the plural of is?
Are.
Are. Abdul and Ricky are going to be very proud of
Themselves.
themselves. Try and use you in the plural form and change this sentence. I just couldn't help myself. You just couldn't help
Yourself.
yourselves. VES. In the plural form. Okay. Yourself, Allah. Yourselves. Okay. Okay. Next sentence. Next exercise. Replace the object personal pronoun in each sentence with the appropriate reflexive pronoun. Okay. Jerry liked. Now Jerry is the subject. Liked is the verb. Whom did the verb like, or whom did the subject like? This guy? This thing?
Yes.
Or this thing? This thing,
Me.
right? Yes. So this is the object. Okay. Now you have to change this personal pronoun, this object. That's what they are saying. Replace the object personal pronoun. That is this. You have to replace this. So what can I say instead of me? Jerry liked.
Myself. No.
Jerry liked. Jerry liked me in the new suit. It could be myself, it could be himself, it could be, but in both cases, the meaning of the sentence is changing. I don't know if they are okay with that. You can change it to myself, you can change it to himself. Himself will be more appropriate. Let's put himself here. Jerry liked himself in the new suit. Okay. But the meaning will change. Let's look at the second one. They bruised her with several different tasks. Can I use herself here? No.
No.
They bruised. Yes, the task is to change them to a personal pronoun. Okay. A personal pronoun will always refer back to this pronoun. That's what we are learning, right? They bruised. What will come here? What is a personal the reflective pronoun for this? Themselves.
Themselves.
Okay, that's what they want us to do. So Jerry liked himself. What are we referring back to? Jerry.
Subject.
Okay, we are going back to Jerry. So Jerry liked himself in the new suit. They bruised themselves. Themselves is referring back to they. Okay, that's what they want us to do. Okay, so we were very proud of them. What will it change to? Them will change to
Ourselves.
ourselves. We were very proud of ourselves. Okay, she is buying us a few new outfits.
Herself.
She is buying herself. Yes. The children hurt
myself,
children plural
themselves,
themselves or themselves
Themselves.
themselves,
themselves. Okay, I have to ask him what to do now. I have to ask
myself,
myself,
myself. The young woman told you not to give in.
herself,
Herself. He wants to find
myself,
himself
himself,
himself,
something nice to wear. You have harmed no one but
yourself,
yours yourself. You yourself. Okay. The lizard hid them under a rock. How will you refer to an animal?
it,
itself,
Itself. The lizard hid itself under a rock. Okay. Next. So, this was quite easy, right? We all know how to use this, I believe. Do you want me to spend time on this? I guess not. So I hope all of you understand how to use reflexive pronouns, and it's quite easy. Okay, so let's move on to the next chapter, that is possession. What is possession? Anything that is in the possessive form would have this thing, an apostrophe and an s. This is called the possessive structure or the possessive form. Look at the examples. Examples will make things clear for you. The roar of a lion. How can you write it? A lion's roar. Or you can also say the lion's roar. Both will be correct. Okay. The color of the book. The book's color. All that you're doing or all the change that you're bringing in is this apostrophe s. Okay. The children of Mrs. Diaz. Mrs. Diaz's children. The prey of the wolves. The wolves prey. Now, have I taught you why there is just an apostrophe here?
yes,
I believe I would have discussed this sometime.
yes, sir,
Okay. Whenever a word ends with an S and you have to use an apostrophe after that, you will not repeat another S. That is a convention. That is how it is being written. Okay. So just to give you an example, Let's not take Jesus here. Okay, let's talk about my MacBook. If you want to say the MacBook belongs to Justice, you can simply say Justice is MacBook. Here you do not have to repeat another S. That will be wrong. That's the rule. Okay. I have talked about this earlier in the class, possibly in a previous class. So I hope all of you remember that. So this is how it will come up in a sentence. This is Ginny's car, or the kittens of an alley cat. I don't know why they have put it here. Again, this is possessive, but it does not actually use a apostrophe. Chalo, any case. Chal, let's do this. The center of the storm was just north of the city. How will you change it into a possessive form? The storm's what? Center. The storm apostrophe S. Storm's center. Storm and center was just north of the city. Look, they have done an example here. The color of the car is red. The car's color is red. Just like that we did it here, right? The storm's center was just north of the city. I am repeating myself again and again because I don't hear any confirmation or any okay or anything like that. Is it clear?
Yes,
This
sir.
thing?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. If you respond, your class will become short also, na? So please be interactive. Yes. The condition of the victims was very serious. Can anyone try?
The victims.
The victim's condition was very serious.
The victim's condition was very serious. Okay. I don't understand the behavior of my classmates. I don't understand.
My classmates'
Classmates' behavior.
behavior.
I don't understand my classmates' behavior. Okay. The equipment of the lab was outdated.
Lab
The lab cycle.
The lab's
Equipments was outdated.
equipment was outdated. Not plural labs, but apostrophe S wala lab. Okay. The effort of each man helped to make the project a success. Remove the word the. Do not use this word the here. Start the sentence with each.
Each support
Each man efforts help to make the project.
Why are you saying each man?
Men.
Men.
Man's. Each man's. MAN apostrophe S. That is what we are learning, right? So if you don't do that, then what's the point? So each man's efforts. Do I need efforts? Or
Effort.
can I just say effort?
Effort.
Yes. You do not need this S here, okay? Each man's effort helped to make the project a success. Okay. The many illnesses of the animals were evidence of the filthy condition. The
Animals.
Now how will you write animals here? It's already got an S.
After us.
After S, you will put an apostrophe. That's all. Okay. So what does this mean? There is not one animal, but there are many animals. And all these animals, illness is. Okay. So the animals' illnesses were evidence of the filthy conditions. Too many S's. The documents of the young lawyer were very impressive. The young lawyer's documents were very impressive. The room was filled with the scent of the roses. Anyone? The room was filled with the anyone?
The scent of the roses was filled in the room.
No. The scent of the roses was filled in the room. Who was this? Can I know who answered?
Advait.
Advait. Advait wrong.
Okay, sir.
So what is okay? Nothing is okay, right? Let's correct it. You have changed the structure of the sentence. You started the sentence with the scent of the roses, right?
Yes.
We have to start with the room was filled with. അത് മാറാൻ പാടില്ല. Okay. First thing is that.
The room was filled with roses scent.
Shut up right now. All this while I was asking somebody to answer, nobody was answering. Now that I'm teaching Advait, you guys are jumping in between. So please hold your horses. Shut up right now. Advait, listen carefully.
Yes, sir.
The room was filled with. അവിടുന്ന് തുടങ്ങണം നമ്മൾ. Okay.
Okay.
The scent of the roses. ഇതില് possessive ആക്കണം. അപ്പോൾ ഇതില് subject ആരാ?
Roses.
Roses. ആരുടെ കുറിച്ചാണ് സംസാരിക്കുന്നത്? Roses അല്ലേ? ആ റോസസിന്റെ കൂടെ നീ ഒരു apostrophe ഇട്.
After
അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് എന്ത് ഇടും നീ? റോസസിന്റെ എന്ത്?
scent.
Scent. Okay, so what will you change this? The room was filled with the
rose. Scent of the roses.
അത് അല്ല ഇവിടെ എഴുതിയിരിക്കുന്നത്. The room was filled with the നമ്മൾ possessive ആക്കണം. The എന്തിന്റെ scent?
Roses.
Roses. അപ്പൊ roses കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഒരു apostrophe. Scent.
Okay.
The room was filled with.
Roses.
If you want, you can put the roses apostrophe s വേണോ പിന്നെ?
വേണ്ട.
വേണ്ട. Roses എന്ത്? Scent. Scent എന്താണ്? മണം. Okay.
Okay.
Understood? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Can you try this? Advait and only Advait. Can you try this one? The hunter captured the mother of the little bear cub. The hunter, നമ്മൾ സെന്റൻസ് മാറാൻ പാടില്ല. Okay. So നമ്മൾ ഇങ്ങനെ തന്നെ തുടങ്ങും. The hunter captured the mother. ബാക്കി പറ നീ. Subject ആരാ?
Bear cub.
Bear cub. അതിന്റെ ഒരു ഡിസ്ക്രിപ്ഷനും ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ അതും കൂടെ തന്നെ ഇരിക്കട്ടെ അല്ലേ? ഓക്കെ. ഇപ്പൊ ബെയർ കബിന്റെ ആരോ അല്ലേ? സോ ബെയർ കബ്സ്. The little bear cubs something. ആര്? ബെയർ കബ്ന്റെ ആരാണ് here in this sentence?
Mother. The mother.
Read the sentence. The hunter captured.
The mother of the little.
ആ അപ്പൊ ഒന്ന് മലയാളത്തിൽ ഒന്ന് ആലോചിച്ച് മോനെ. ബെയർ കബ്ന്റെ ആരെയാണ് ക്യാപ്ചർ ചെയ്ത്?
അമ്മേനെ.
അമ്മേനെ. സോ നീ എങ്ങനെ പറയും? The hunter captured ആരുടെ? The little bear cubs. ആരെ? Mother. The hunter captured the little bear cubs. Mother. Clear?
Yes,
Try this one. Next one.
We drove to the northern
Border. Northern border. ആരുടെ northern border? നിന്റെയാ? എന്റെയാ? ആരുടെ?
of the town. Town northern border.
ടൗണിന്റെ northern border. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെ പറഞ്ഞ ഒന്ന്. We drove to the
Town's northern border.
Very good. Did you get it? Did you understand this now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
With that, this thing possession is over. For anyone who has not understood, I'm repeating this again. All we are doing is we are putting an apostrophe S. Okay. The subject, or you can call it the object, or the main, the noun gets a apostrophe S with it, and the rest of the thing comes after it. So the roar of a lion will become a lion's roar. It's as simple as that. Okay. Okay, we still have another half an hour. Let's finish this also. Possessive pronouns, another type of pronoun. What type of pronoun? Possessive pronoun. What are possessive pronouns? My, mine, your, yours, his will remain like that. Her will become hers. Its will remain like that. Our will become ours. Their will become theirs. Both these are possessive pronouns. They are showing possession to what? I, you, he, she, it, we, they. The three, forms. Look at the sentence. My gift is unusual. Here you are using my. You're using a possessive pronoun. It's showing that the gift is under your possession, belongs to you. That's why you said my gift is unusual. Another form of possessiveness is this. Here you have used it to write a question. Which gift is mine? No. You will use the word mine. That is the second form of possessive pronoun. Generally, the second form is used when you ask questions, when your sentences are interrogative in nature. That is when you use this possessive form. Not always, there are some exceptions, but mostly that is when you'll use them. So that's why you see this is a question. And we have used the second form of the possessive pronoun. Okay. Now I said there are exceptions. Look at this. Our friends live here. These two dogs are ours. It is ending with the word S. Why? Because there are two dogs. These two dogs are ours. And it is showing that possessiveness with the word are in its plural form. Ours. His aunt is a doctor. His is a doctor. Now this sentence many of you might not understand, might not get it. Let's leave it. Let's not go into this. You don't need this. You don't need to understand the sentence at an IELTS perspective. Okay, this is actually a dialogue. You usually use this in a play. In plays and all, you will use this. So you guys are not concerned with it. So let's leave that. Okay. Okay. So moving on. Okay. A very simple exercise. You have to change the first form of possessive pronoun, that is this word my, into the second form of possessive pronoun. And you can make some changes, like you can omit the noun, you can replace the noun. So here, look at this example. She has my book. So instead of my, you can use the second form of possessive pronoun. That will be mine. And you can omit the noun. That is, you can omit the word book here. So the sentence becomes, she has mine. The car on the corner is my car. The car on the corner is
Mine.
mine. Was this your house? Was this
Our.
your day? Second possessive pronoun is simple, yours. S. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
Look at the list again. My, mine, your, yours, his. It is already ending with S, right? So I cannot possibly put a S here again. So it remains just like that. His remains his. Her,
Hers.
hers. See? So what are we doing? We are just making sure that it ends with an S. That's all. The second form of possessive is ending with an S. That's what it's doing. Exceptions, my becomes mine. His remains as it is. It's also ends with an S. So, it remains as it is. Our becomes ours. Their becomes theirs. That's it. Okay. All you're doing is putting an S there. Exceptions are this guy and this guy. Okay. And possibly you can also consider it's also to be an exception here. Okay. So coming back. The invading soldiers searched their house.
The invading soldiers searched their house.
House vendor. Okay, that's what we did here, right? Book vendor in the law.
Theirs.
Okay, omit the noun. Okay, the invading soldiers searched theirs.
Theirs.
Did D find her briefcase?
Did they find hers?
Find hers. Very good. Now, I would like anyone else to answer. Our relatives have lived in Brazil for a long time. You're looking for the possessive pronoun, right? I hope all of you are looking for the possessive pronoun. Where is it?
Ours.
Ours. Yes. Can you, then we'll remove this word. Okay. Ours have lived in Brazil for a long time. The sentence does not make sense, but we are just trying to learn the possessive form. His boss is fair with everyone. What will happen to this? His. No change, right?
Yes.
His will remain like that. Now, do we need this? No. His is fair with everyone. Again, the sentence does not make sense, but that's what they are asking us to change it into. These problems are entirely his problems. These problems are entirely his. Okay. Now, do we need to repeat this word? Actually, we don't, right? So this sentence makes absolute sense. Okay. These problems are entirely his. I need your advice. I need yours. Okay. I need yours. That's how it will change. My landlord is going to raise the rent. Mine. Mine is going to raise the rent. So when will you say these are generally dialogues when you are in a conversation. Your friend possibly said this, my landlord is going to raise the rent. So how will you respond? Will you say my landlord is going to drop the rent? No, you will say mine is going to drop the rent. Okay, that's how you will see them in a conversation in dialogues. Generally, you do not need to use them in essay writing or report writing. Possibly in letters, yes, but not in essay or report. Okay, so last one. Their long conversations made no sense. Theirs, there will become theirs. Conversation made no sense. You do not need to put a s here. Okay, you will remove the word long here. Theirs, uh, you can also remove conversations. In fact, you can remove both these words. So you can say theirs made no sense. Okay, we have one more exercise. How many do we have here? Okay, after this comes prepositions that we'll do in the next class. Okay, so let's finish these two exercises as well. Okay, now here we have to make everything into a possessive pronoun. We have to add a possessive pronoun. Look at the example here. He likes the new car. We have to change that into he likes his new car. So look at the sentence. The woman wants to visit some relatives in Europe. The woman wants to visit
Her,
Yeah.
her relatives in Europe.
yeah,
She takes the children for a long walk. She takes
her children for a long walk.
her children for a long walk. Do you have the tools in the truck? Do you have?
It, no,
Do you have? Your. Yude possessive endana. Your.
yes,
Your.
I
Your.
yes,
Your.
yes.
Do you have your tools in the truck?
Okay.
I sent the address and telephone number to the office. I sent
My.
my, very good, address and telephone number to the office. We want this one. How will you change this? We want this one. Vide possessive endana. What is the possessive of we?
Ours,
Oh.
Are. Yes. We want ours. Okay, that is how it will change. We want ours, not this one. We want ours. Somebody said we want this one. Then you said no, 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 no. We want ours. That's a dialogue. Okay. In speaking, that's going to take more importance, not in writing. So moving on to the next. The picture fell out of the frame. The picture fell out of
It's
its frame. Very good. They spend a lot of time in Canada. They spend, change this and make it into a possessive. They endana
yes,
possessive.
There.
They spent their time in Canada. They spend their time in Canada. Are you selling? Are you selling these? How can we change this? Are you, change the word you have to look into is you.
yours. Are
Are
you
you
selling
selling
yours?
yours? Very good. I left some papers in the apartment. I
Mine.
In my apartment, can we also say that? I left some papers in my
Apartment.
apartment. Okay. Jose found the wallet under the bed. Jose found whose wallet?
His.
His wallet.
His wallet under the bed. Circle the bold-faced word that best completes each sentence. Okay. Did you leave yours, mine, your keys on the desk? Which one is the best word to be used here?
Your.
Your
Your.
keys on the desk. Okay. Her brother met. Which one is the best word to put here?
His.
His wife
In
in
Paris.
Paris. Okay. This book.
Her.
Uh-huh.
Our.
Uh-huh. His. If I have to use her, I have to use hers. അല്ലേ എന്നാ ഹിസിന്റെ പ്ലൂറൽ ഫോം എന്താണ്? ഹിസ് തന്നെയാണ് അല്ലേ?
His. Ah.
നമ്മള് നോക്കിയായിരുന്നല്ലോ, ഞാൻ കാണിച്ചായിരുന്നല്ലോ.
Yes.
So the only option I'm left with is his. Okay. Will I say this book is our? I cannot say that also. I will rather say this book is ours. Right? If we are a
Yes.
group of people, we will say this book is ours with an S. We will not say this book is our. So the only thing that makes sense here is his. This book is his, and that one belongs to Smita. Where did they buy their? Buy theirs. Okay. Where did they buy theirs? That's the only thing that can come here. Okay, that's a question, so I answered it. Okay, moving on. I believe I forgot
Mine.
mine again. Okay, mine is the correct option. My sister gave
Her watch to me.
her watch to me. I saw your tickets, but where are
Ours.
ours? Okay, this one, ours. Next one.
His uncle is coming to America.
His uncle is coming to America to live. Okay, next one. Huh?
The its foot in a trap.
The fox.
It's.
Animal analo.
It's.
It's the fox hurt its foot in a trap.
Trap.
Okay. Okay. May I have
My.
my dinner now? Okay. Okay. So with that, let's close for today. We just have 10 more minutes, and in those 10 minutes I cannot complete prepositions. Preposition is very important. Most of you go wrong with prepositions. Most of you didn't even know about is a preposition or for is a preposition in the beginning of this class. So I believe this is something that is very important, and I've seen that a lot of Indian students do go wrong with prepositions. Okay, so I will be taking this on Thursday. We'll continue with this on Thursday, and that's about it for today's class. Okay, and guys, in an online class, it is not nice to remain on a mute and not participate. So that is why, and when you participate, please understand there will always be a delay or a lag when you say and when I say, and like that. So it becomes difficult sometimes to converse as such. So let somebody finish and then you speak up. Do not jump in between. That might just take the flow of the conversation out of sync. So that's why I got angry with somebody in between. I apologize for that. Okay, Do not feel bad, but just that in the spur of the moment, that seems very disruptive. So that's why. Okay. So other than that, I think this class was good enough. So that's all for today. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day ahead, and do vote. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.